street area, and is that where you still are this evening? I see night is well upon us.
That's right, Paul. You can no longer see the damage behind me, but I've been talking to Christy for the last hour. And Christy, I know it has been an extremely long day for you and your family, but we've been talking so far right now. At least 51 people are dead, 7 of whom were children at the elementary school where your 2 children attended. Tell me where you were when you found out the tornado was headed to Moore and what you did to make sure your kids were going to be okay.
I was at work and on 44th and Western, and my parents called me and asked me if they wanted me to pick up the kids and check them out of school before the storm. I said go ahead and do it, and so they were able to get my kids out of school about 30 minutes before the tornado hit and got them to safety.
30 minutes before. When you hear that children died and you got your kids out, what goes through your mind?
Disbelief, horror. It's really sad, they're just babies. So, I mean, I have mine, but somebody lost theirs, so it's not fair.
Have you heard of any reports, any of your friends or family who have kids there that may have lost?
Not yet. I've been able to see a few of the kids that my daughter runs around with. I haven't heard about any of them my son runs around with.
When you found out, though, that kids had passed away in this, when you saw your kids, because you said the grandparents picked up your kids, when you saw them, what did you do when you saw them?
Actually, I haven't got to see them yet. I haven't seen them yet since this all happened. I haven't been able to get to them. So we're hopefully leaving here now to be able to meet them somewhere. But yeah, I got to talk to them on the phone for a brief minute before the phone died, and to tell them I love them and stuff. So that was.
If your children are watching right now, though, what do you want to tell them?
I love you very, very much, and I can't wait to hold you and kiss your face. I wish I was with them now.
It's so heartbreaking. Your house, only 2 streets from this school. When you got home and you looked at this damage, and to know that none of your neighbors were injured, and your husband actually rode out the storm inside the house, I mean, how do you explain something like this?
I can't. I actually was in the May 3rd tornado myself with my mom, and made it through that one, and there are no words. Devastating.
What made you, though, I would imagine they have a plan in place at the school. What made you think, though, what made you say, you know what, I'm going to go get my kids a little bit early?
Your gut tells you that, and then when you have confirmation, when your parents call and say, hey, you want us to go pick them up, you kind of just follow your gut feeling and get them out of there.
Unbelievable. Talk about your neighborhood, though. Seems like it's very close-knit. A lot of people have been here for years, and you walk down here, home after home destroyed, debris all over the place, vehicles flipped over. What is that like when you see a neighbor come up to you and talk to you and see how you're doing?
Heartwarming. I didn't pass one person, even when I was driving through the neighborhood when I first got here, that wasn't trying, I had my windows down and they were all telling me which streets were bad. And as soon as I pulled up here, my neighbors were outside and they were telling me that he was here, but he was okay. They saw him leave the house, and everybody's asking, do you need water? Do you need this? Do you need that? So very, very helpful, caring people around here.
And we talk about the Oklahoma Standard. We've been talking about it all night. Complete strangers helping out other strangers. How does that feel, though, to know that people who don't even live in your community care about what's going on right now in Moore, Oklahoma?
Feels good to live here. Feels good to be in a place that will help anybody when they're in the time of need.
This may seem like a silly question. This just happened, but how do you move on from this? How do you pick up your life and move on?
You just have to. You have to let go of the material things and know that your family is safe, and that's all that really matters. And you can get everything else.
Your kids are okay.
Mm-hmm.
your husband rode out the storm. What about that? What was that like, seeing your husband?
I was terrified. I was terrified. And when I saw him, all I wanted to do was just hold him for a long time. But yeah, but we're okay and everything's fine.
Obviously, your kids are young, and no children should have to deal with a tragedy like this. You're obviously, I'm sure they're going to hear the reports. You're going to have to talk to them. Have you thought about that? What that's going to be like, talking to your kids?
Well, they went through it themselves in a cellar, not about a mile away. So, with my parents, so they got to experience it firsthand too. We always prep them, and we do little drills in our own home. So, you can't live in Oklahoma and not prep them for things like this.
Speaking of drills and prepping, do you know what kind of things they do at the school to make sure that they're prepared? Or is there a shelter there? What kind of things do they do at your children's school?
I don't think there's a shelter. I think that they run drills and tell, so they know exactly what they need to do and where to go for that type of situation. But other than that, I don't really know what kind of drills they do, but I know that they do them.
Christy, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with me. I'm so glad that we can stand here and have this conversation, and I'm glad your kids are okay. And I want you to go see them, give them a big hug and a kiss. And if there's anything we can do for you guys, we're here for you guys. Everybody's thinking about more Oklahoma, and I want you to have a good night and hopefully be able to move on from this.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Thanks.
Guys, just an unbelievable story. Earlier today, we talked to Christy's husband, and he was outside shooting video, and just as that tornado was coming, ran into the house, rode it out in his bedroom. He is alive, but it's just amazing when you talk about these deadly storms, a deadly tornado. She had a hunch, got the grandparents to pick up her kids. Her kids are now alive. It's just it really, truly is a blessing that they're okay, but that is the very latest from out here. Back to you guys in the studio.
Okay, okay, thank you very much.